I love a lot of the attempts that have happened lately to make Halloween more inclusive, more welcoming, like the Teal Pumpkin Project for kids who have food allergies, where you put out a teal sort of pumpkin with non-food items. Now let's talk about how to make it a little less overwhelming for some little trick-or-treaters who might have sensory issues. Joining me now, I'm happy to have Alescia Ford from Adapt and Learn with some tips to make Halloween happy for everyone. Glad to meet you.
Good to meet you. Thanks for having me.
And glad to have you here. Let's talk about those sensory issues. We hear sort of the term neurodivergent, even neurodiverse. Why don't we start by just sort of helping to better define that for people?
Absolutely. So we've always known that people interact and experience the world differently.
Yeah.
About 15 to 20% of the population identifies as neurodiverse. And that just means that they have different learning profiles. They may be on the autism spectrum. They may have attention deficit or sensory processing, which is why we're here today.
Right. And it's very individual. I know we were talking about that right before the commercial break. So why don't we try to simplify it by saying maybe what parts of sort of the whole Halloween experience tend to be more challenging than others for?
Absolutely. Well, Halloween is designed to be an over-the-top fun experience.
Yes.
You've got everything from loud noises to flashing lights to spooky fog machines. All of those offer sensory information for kids that they may or may not be able to process.
Yes.
So those unexpected transitions, those new routines, Halloween also goes against everything we know about stranger danger.
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
in itself a challenge for some kids.
Yes, I see that right there. There's an expectation of being social with people that you wouldn't normally see. That's sort of one of the things I'm trying to overcome with my 6-year-old, who's very, very shy, just going up and saying trick or treat. All right, so if you're one of those parents who likes to set up, maybe you've got the smoke machine outside your house, things like that. Of course, you can't tailor it to every kid who's coming by. It's every couple of minutes. So what can you do just to try to be as welcoming and inclusive as you can?
Well, I always say to parents, start off by setting your kid up for success. Prepare them. Pick a costume that's maybe more in a theme than an actual costume from a store.
Got it.
Something like a hoodie with a favorite character on it, or a onesie that goes over their street clothes. Something that's more in a theme, so we're not committing to masks and wigs and face paint that can really send your child over the top before they even get out the door.
Okay.
Rehearsing your route is really important, and talking to your neighbors. Can you practice ahead of time? Can you like rehearse with your child? What am I going to say when I get to the front door? How do I also tell you that I'm done with this and want to go home?
Right.
So being a flexible neighbor and a flexible parent is really important.
Yes, and I'm glad that we talked about what parents can do. Yeah, now let's talk about it from the other end. If you're the one passing out the candy, if you're the one who has all those decorations out, what should you be mindful of with each kid who comes to your door?
Some kids may not be able to communicate in the way that you expect them to. So be mindful of kids who maybe use sign language or verbal approximations for things that they don't have the language to say clearly.
Yeah.
Some kids will hand out communication cards so that if they can't say trick or treat, the parent or the child will give you something that that you, the recipient, can respond to. So we still get that reciprocity of that interaction, which is what Halloween is all about.
Right, and you know what, if they come to the door, good enough for me. They get the candy. Give me a smile. I just like to see the smiles too. Those are some great tips, a lot of which I hadn't even considered too. Alescia, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Alescia Ford, helping everybody, Matt Scott, to have a nice, happy Halloween.
And I love what you do every year. You always say if the kids can get past the gate and the alligator-filled moat, they can have that full-size candy bar.
As good as, the full-size Snickers.